given the right conditions, given a lead in the bottom lane, and that Camille snowball we may see in the top side of the map.
Yeah, and every single game is a new chance to turn a new leaf. I think that Afrika wants a second chance after that first game where they had to have known they were ahead and kind of threw it away and got dunked on by the Syndra. So Fly, he does the donkey thing. He says, well, Syndra's the strongest champion in the game now. I'm going to play Syndra. We'll see how that goes for him. Certainly Syndra does have a lot of power in exactly the moments where Dove was using it in the last game. So excited to see Fly get his chance at doing it here at game number 2 of Afrika up against KT. Being warned, she is quite tanky, in fact. And we have the flash in. They want to engage immediately onto Lehens. They don't quite have the damage to get on in there. And now the double slow comes in, the double root from Bang. And they will be able to trade back some of those health bars, and Lehens will survive.
We see so many all-ins from Rel at level 3. He knows the timing, and he's like, you're dead! Sorry!
He is.
Seeker's arm guard, no!
Yeah.
Bye-bye!
Very fast, but the red buff is picked up, and the flash is easy. He's just trying to trade. He's not really going for any kills or anything. Miss on the stun here. Hextech Ultimatum not available, and Keen is getting in the thick of things as now the Mini-Narc comes out. Did he go a little bit too far? That is going to be the straight-up kill.
He might still re-engage back in if this turret goes down after the charge. Like, he's roaming around. He sees blank. They want more. This is a really nice timing, actually, for the Pantheon.
Yeah, he's just going to engage immediately, but with the sleep coming in, Fly is really the problem. He gets the first rotation down, and this is a 4-on-3 in favor of Afrika. They're desperately trying to kill Dread, but they absolutely cannot. Not with the wild growth, at least. The flash comes in, Zeus is going to go down, and Afrika this time, it's this turn, their turn rather, to dominate this game, as they are really bringing it to KT this time around.
The timing on this means they get an extra charge.
An interesting champion to talk about, because... well, I'm going to have to hold that thought. As Keen is getting in here onto Hybrid, you know, he has that damage, but here comes the S-Rank, and he's got some friends, but the Hybrid will eventually go down, and Lehens is coming up here to the top side. UCal, you can see him burning down Dread. There comes the exhaust. They're going to take out Dread immediately, and now KT has the rest of their team in position to collapse, and they're going to get on top of Keen as well. They take out that Camille, and the rest of Afrika just going to have to back away. They have this really big Syndra at this point in time. But KT are just so confidently moving forward and trying to take as much of the map as possible. They're looking to trade objectives here even from behind. I like how proactive they're being, even though they do have to give away that Cloud trade.
They're trying to make every bad trade into as least bad as possible. Uh-oh.
All right, I take it. I don't even know what to say about that. That's literally just you walk straight into a Syndra. And that's going to be the way that one goes. Blank does get away because he's a fast horsey.
And now it's a Baron.
Ooh, look at this, though. Fly in a really awkward spot here, getting run down, and Doran is angry. It's really fantastic, right? I mean, Ophelio Syndra alone are just really, really good at that. And not to mention the split pushers. So, just really trying to get as much value as possible. Bang goes a little bit too far forward. You can see that UCal trying to punish that. Here comes the crash down, getting that big engage from the side of Zeus, but now you can see the front to back as Dread will rotate on over, and Fly just does a little bit too much damage. We also got a fight up in the top side. Keen, he's looking to smash down Doran. He wants to get revenge for his ally, as moves forward and actually avoids the sweet spot on the sweeper, trades the kill. But Camille can kind of control those fights.
Yeah.
Speaking of Meganar, gets in there, gets the double wallop as well. Gets a massive engage, but the team gets stunned on the back line, and so the follow-up is just not there. And in goes Keen looking for that back line. Does he have the damage? He's getting poked out. He gets taken down, and a double Zhonya's in the mid lane means that they're actually going to survive. As Dread flashing forward, not sure if he's even going to be able to win this fight here. KT playing it really nicely front to back, but in the end of the day, the wallets are just too large here on the side of Afrika, and they will eventually smack KT back into their fountain.
Really strong engage tools on the side of Afrika Freaks. They have the damage number, they have the damage output, they have the wallet advantage, as you said. They just have better items. They have such high damage output on top of the engage. You know, you drop your Zhonya's or not, it's only going to buy time, but there's no follow-up damage. They can't actually kill the Afrika Freaks despite the survivability. And this looks like an inevitable end.
Does feel inevitable. Hybrid's doing his best golden statue impression, but that's about all he's got here. You can see Dread with the wild growth. Looks like that should be enough. He is going to go down, but we also do have the polymorph onto the Victor. He's staying alive for
Lens?
not too much. Doran is really trying to stop this, actually, as Bang is just going to get those autos down. And we'll take a look at some of the stats, the post-game stats here, just to see the breakdown of how it did go down. Note that KT did not take a single tower.
Nope.
Not a single tower, not a single herald to try to break any towers. They were just too far behind early, and that's where they were losing a lot of gold as well.
Look at the damage for Hybrid. This is another one of those games where, like, Samira needs so much help.
Africa Fricks managed to come back with that performance in Game 2, and they still have the hope to secure their spot on the 5th place. And once again, they tried to support Lulu, and I guess they were preparing this for a reason. I was really unsure about this pick, but we do have the answer now. I think the jungle was the problem. Because they had Karthus in game number 1. They did not have enough kind of tool in order to make other actions to happen. And the Lulu is kind of champion that always push in the lane. So there was some miss of the chemistry with Karthus pick in game number 1, but this time around they were geared up with Pantheon with that B1 pick. I think for KT Roaster, they should have picked Syndra instead of Gnar. I agree with them. With this early Gnar pick, actually, we could see that KT was looking for some top lane priority, which actually didn't work well. And Lilia was not having a good time because both of their solo laners were not having the priority. So when the bottom duos are going really hard during the laning phase, well, actually, the jungler has to punish it based on the lane priority, the top side of the map, but that was missing on the side of KT Roaster, so Africa Fricks was able to kind of easily solidify their lead. If KT Roaster cannot actually put up their best fight into the Africa's comp, they actually should just ban out Lulu in game 3. So let's take a look how Africa this time around was able to have a firm grasp of the jungle lead. So Lilia rotated to top for a gank, but the CC engage wasn't there. The wall-up didn't really work, so Lilia actually had to use her flash to escape. And Pantheon had this information that the enemy jungle red camp is regenerating soon, and then the important thing is that the zombie ward goes down. So Lilia, because she had this vision just before a couple of seconds ago, well, Blank thought she was in a very safe spot, so she goes for that red camp, but Dread was able to lock down that easy kill. But prior to that, we also want to make a shout out over to Keen's outplay, surviving that gank. So some of the missed chemistry coming out from KT Roaster actually was snowballed to that solo kill in the jungle. And let's take a look at the next highlight, where Africa won a very decisive team fight where KT Roaster made a mistake. So KT looked to engage on Lulu, and some of the players are also trying to raise their mid lane turret. But they could not make any pick onto Lulu, and at the same time, they didn't even finish that turret. And then Syndra stuns that Gnar and knocked down the Samira as well. KT had to be a little bit more composed in game. However, they made some critical mistake over and over in this game, so the game was a little bit accelerated heading to the end. They should have been a lot more meticulous, expecting or predicting the skill shots coming out from the opponents. Because Lulu was able to redeem herself in game number 2, and with this victory, we are heading over to the series deciding game number 3. But first, let's take a look at the POG, and it's gonna be Dread picking up another POG, the first one of the split already. These days, once he gets the jungle lead, Africa can easily actually close out the game. So Africa has been kind of rising up, followed by the Dread's process of his performance. instead of going for some pick like Karthus, I think Pantheon was a better connection for him. Africa, based on their lane priority, can push this momentum forward with this kind of strong engaged jungle. Dread is definitely a player with a very aggressive playstyle, so I guess Pantheon was definitely a better link for him. It's also really interesting to see how this player can go far and aggressively by himself. And also the way he utilized the shield was really on point, and Dread was able to pick up 5 for 9, and the rest of the votes were split for Syndra and Aphelios on the side of Africa Freaks. So it's a match point for both teams, and we're heading over to the decider game. The winner will get the spot on the west bracket of the LCK, so back to our casters.